Welcome.
Well, my mind is going blind right now.
Your mind
Welcome,
is
ladies
going
and gentlemen, back to another episode of the Young Oldtimers podcast, episode 8. One of them, 8 of them.
Say it. You better not say it.
Say it with me now. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it, boys.
We have made it to 8 episodes. Once again, that is
We haven't even
fantastic.
gotten to double digits yet. Like,
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
We'll get there once in a while.
We'll get there in 80 years.
Calm down.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But thank y'all once again for coming back to listen to us ramble about a few things that may or may not be interesting. But hey, this is why we made this podcast.
Cinema.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, yes, I have heard many words
If
about
you are going to watch or have watched
Well,
the Green Knight,
let's see this here, Cole. You're driving to the theater. You don't know which movie to pick.
do not.
Do not.
Do
and I
not.
repeat, do not pick the Green Knight.
Ooh,
Even if
yeah.
you read the poem, it's nothing like the
It's
poem.
terrible.
It's worse.
You're right. If it's that bad enough that you have to
Can
read the
someone
poem,
fact check what Rotten Tomatoes gave it?
it was like 85 or
No,
something like
no
that.
way.
There ain't no way.
I need to be on that committee.
It was the Green Knight, right? So I saw it. It was like 80 something when I looked at it. It was like both. Hold on, let me make sure. At Rotten Tomatoes, it's 88, and Metacritic is 80.
Well, I mean, if
You know what its rating is on Google? 2.3.
out of
5.
oh
Yeah.
if it was out of 10, I could see
that is respectfully bad.
respectfully
IMDb gave
Indubitably
it a 7.4 out of 10.
horrific.
So once
And
again,
IGN, because, they're just pushovers, they give it a 9 out of 10.
yeah, that
Oh.
usually happens. The user score for
He wants to swear so bad.
well, the user score for the Metacritic is a 6.1. So definitely the crowd is not liking this movie at all.
Well, for one, the plot makes no sense to me.
Yes, could you explain the plot if
Well,
you can?
If you read the poem, you will know this is the plot of the movie. So, there is a young man named Sir Gawain.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's going to be a knight at some point in the near future.
Respectful.
And apparently, get this, the king was actually King Arthur.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not pick up on that.
King Arthur was weak in that movie then.
He was old.
Well, that makes
Why not?
sense. I
But
mean,
Fool was old.
This is based on the Round Table, apparently. The Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah. Okay.
So Sir Gawain, apparently his mother summons the Green Knight
huh.
for unknown reasons.
No, I know why. Because his son has no story to tell to be on the round table.
think
If
of-
you notice
Oh.
in that
like,
movie,
here's a story he could tell.
if you notice in that movie, he was sitting like not at the round table, but he was sitting off to the edge of that with all the other peasants.
Yeah.
So he's basically
Here's
just
the
like
thing to me.
on the side.
Yeah,
Like,
he's on the sideline.
Wow.
There's a man that just like going to the whorehouse and the local pub. Okay. That's
Okay,
how it-
okay.
Which I mean,
I mean, that's
That's
realistic.
how it was. That's how he was in the movie.
Back in the day,
But
yeah.
here's the thing. The Green Knight is summoned. He walks in there.
cool
says-
dude, by the way.
Very
Nice.
This is a freaking awesome monster.
But I don't
Whoa.
That was
understand-
really cool.
I don't understand how he bled red.
And we don't talk.
Well,
about it.
things happen, you know.
The man bled red, even though he was a tree. Okay.
You know,
Anyways,
things happen.
So, he basically issues a challenge to the bravest knight that can land a strike on him. And whatever strike that is, he's going to return it within a year.
Oh,
So Gawain, the fool, decides to chop his head off.
wow.
He could have just sliced up a finger. He
Yeah.
could have just lightly tapped his wrist.
You know, you could have just gave a good old kiss in the face. You know, that could be one way to change it.
Hold on!
Pause, respectfully.
Pause, respectfully, exactly. But, here's the thing. He cuts his head off, a year goes by, he's still a drunken fool that's going to a whorehouse all the time.
Lovely.
And so he's like, King Arthur's like, it's about time. He's like, I don't know if you should go. He's like, I think I should. Even though it's kind of stupid, but I'm going to go. And so
I'm gonna go.
His mom prepares
I'm gonna
him
go.
by giving him clothes and preparing his armor.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is like a little green belt, like a little.
That belt is a very
I don't know
It's
if we should.
important.
I don't know if we should get into that.
We should spoil it.
I won't get into that.
If it's that
but
bad, we should spoil it. That's how I feel.
It's pretty bad.
No, it's not about spoiling.
It's just that
It's
bad.
just,
Oh
all right,
no!
rated M later on in the.
Don't
Story.
take your kids to watch it.
Just don't take your kids to watch it. Anyways, so he's got that belt. He's got his chainmail. He's got everything. Well, he don't have the real armor. He's just got chainmail over him. So he's just.
He's just living.
Apparently, that was Excalibur that he chopped his head off with too. So.
Well, that would make sense if it was King Arthur.
And
Yeah.
the Green Knight left his axe at the kingdom, so he took the axe of the Green Knight as well. So he gets rolling. He's off for a while. Everything's normal for like the first day or two.
Yeah.
Then he comes up on this battlefield. Everybody's dead, dude.
Ooh.
And there's this one kid who's trying to talk to him, and then he's like,
It's a midget. It wasn't a kid. It was like a little
A little man.
Yeah.
little man.
And he's like, follow the river. So he starts following the river. The dumb fool kept following the river. Then
Sir
he gets-
Garwin the Fool.
gets
Sir
jumped by-
Gawain the fool.
So it gets jumped by 3 midgets. One of them was the one that pointed him in that direction.
Oh, he got. Oh,
Yeah.
that
And they
stinks.
Which really makes me mad he took his horse. you just
Besides,
don't take a
he
man's
took his-
horse.
It's
They
like getting
went after him because
robbed
he was a
at
knight.
a Honda Civic.
Apparently, it's offensive to be a knight in that neck of the woods. Anyways, they stole the
They don't
Green
like-
Knight's axe.
Wow.
They stole his horse, and they stole his green belt.
How?
There were 3 of them. They jumped him.
They were little
He
people,
didn't even
right?
try
They
and
could have
fight
just,
him.
just.
He didn't even
Yeah,
try.
you
and
could have
fight
just
him.
shrieked.
He didn't even try.
He didn't even try.
He was an idiot.
Sir Garwin the Fool.
He was drunk that day. That's why.
So he's tied up, and they run off with all the stuff. But Excalibur is still there.
Huh.
You fools! You leave
I
Excalibur.
will say the
Leave.
cameramen and the production, heck of a job.
Apparently, he just
Well,
thought he was going
because-
to be rotting there for at least 200 years.
That scene, like the camera started going this way,
It does-
Oh.
and
it
then
does
he's like
rotate,
tied up like
and he's a skeleton.
yeah. They tie him
It does
up.
a 360-degree rotation, and it shows him being a skeleton.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then it goes back the other way, and then it's back to where he's alive again. So I guess he just thought.
I looked at Brian and I was like, well, that was short.
He died and lived
So
again.
he's just like, all right, screw this. So he starts hobbling his way over because he's tied up. And so he starts cutting his ropes off with Excalibur. Cuts his own hand open, apparently.
Wow.
I don't know how, but anyways, he
They
cuts
needed
the
30
ropes off.
seconds of the
And
movie.
so he's
Extra
really
minute.
weak because he hasn't had food. He hasn't been doing anything really. So he starts running around, and then he comes up onto this house, and then he's like, "Is there anybody here?" He hears footsteps.
Oh.
He goes to lay in a bed. This girl wakes him up. She's like, "Why are you in my bed?" He's like, "Huh?"
What if it just becomes like another fairy tale story? It's like Goldilocks, but
I'm gonna
it's
do a quick run
reversed.
through with this one. The girl was a ghost.
Boogity boogie.
And he was like, she was like, could you find my head at the bottom of this creek? He's like, you're alive,
Beg
aren't you?"
pardon?
She's like,
Nah.
no, my head's been chopped off.
Nah,
you
fam,
fool."
I'm dead.
Anyway.
Oh.
No,
dang.
she goes,
Nah, I'm
she
dead,
goes,
man. What?
like, Sir Garwin asks, hey, are you a spirit or are you alive? She goes, what does that matter? And I was like, that kind of matters.
I mean, you gotta know if you're dying or
Especially since I'm
living.
looking for your head.
Shit.
And so he gets her head, and he brings it back up to the house, and,
Oh,
because she
boy.
wasn't there apparently. And so he brings it back upstairs, and her head comes back to normal to where it was like she actually had a normal head again, because
Huh.
it was just a skull when he found it.
Oh
And
my.
she started speaking.
Oh no.
He drops the head, puts it back on her body in the bed, because apparently her skeleton body was.
So he was just sleeping on the bed
Yeah.
with his Okay, that
Yeah.
was something there.
And then he's off again. There's a fox.
Oh,
Oh,
by the
no.
way, the woman appeared the Green Knight's axe.
Oh.
So-
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
The axe appeared later
The axe appears,
in that morning.
and then it takes off.
So he takes off, he meets this fox, and apparently the fox is just like, I'm going to be your homie for a couple of days.
Oh.
But he don't speak.
Huh.
You know, it's a fox.
Just chilling.
It's just a chilling fox. And so they follow giants to somewhere.
And what do you think of when you think of giants? Like, what do you think of?
Not the New
Not the
York
Giants, no.
Not the New York
Here's
Giants.
the thing. When
Big
we saw-
guys.
These were just stone enlarged human beings with just butt naked.
Butt naked.
Butter naked.
Butt cheek and all.
What was that? Attack on Titan?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
so
exactly
it's
what
like
it
the
looked
skin,
Pretty much, except they
It's
weren't
just
like-
rocks. It's just.
Yeah.
Okay. I got
So-
you. Oh, that's nasty.
He follows him for a while, and then he gets weak. He's just like, man, I'm tired.
I gotta
and then
take a
he sees
drink.
this castle. It's raining outside. He's about on the verge of passing out. He makes it inside the house, and he's like at the bottom of the stairs. And he's like,
This is the part of the movie that kind of just.
goes on.
That's where it went.
This is the part of the movie I'm borderline about to leave.
This is where
guy's
LeBron
like,
cried.
Hello there, and then he passes out.
Oh my.
So he's asleep for a couple of hours, and he's like, he sees this man that when he wakes up apparently he appears in a bed, and he's like, hello, Sir Gawain.
How do you know my name?
And he's like, how do you know my name? He says, I know more than just your name.
You're a Jedi.
So he takes him to meet his wife.
That's weird.
And-
Well,
Well, that gets a little bit weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, he spends, because apparently it's 3 days till Christmas, and he did it on Christmas. He chopped the Green Knight's head off.
and editor,
Oh.
if you can find pictures of the movie,
You will find it.
you will
So,
find it.
If you find it, they will come. All
He's
right.
living in this castle for a couple of days, and you can tell the wife has some tension. You
By
know
the
what
way,
kind
the
of
wife
tension-
is the
tension,
same wife.
if you
It's the same girl that he was seeing in his hometown.
Oh.
It looked to be the same girl.
Yeah, did you not pick up on that?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is-
it's the same woman,
that
but just
is-
with longer hair.
But she was beautiful.
But
in the
that is a
beginning, until
parody.
it went off the rails. And so,
Anyways,
Oh no.
so here we go.
uh,
You might as well. Do you want me to tell it, or do you want to tell
well,
it?
Swing the fastball, boy.
Well, you go ahead.
So we're talking about the green belt.
Yeah.
The green belt
The
is
belt.
many important
And
because his mother made it.
Yes.
Yes.
She grabs it from her loins
Huh?
and says, "Do you want this?" and starts straddling him like they were going to do it.
Oh.
They were doing it.
They were doing it.
Oh.
They were going to do it. And
weird.
they start going, and
He says, "I want it."
so
But
she said, "Do you
Huh?
want it?"
Desperate
And
fashion.
so she said, "Do you want it?" He goes, "I want it. I want it." And then, like
in-
what he
keeps
said,
saying- He keeps saying, "I want it,"
and then
he's just like,
she
wow.
goes, she stops, she goes, "You're no knight," and then
it zooms in.
It zooms in
on
on the
a
belt.
headshot with his
with his
Oh.
fluids,
Oh.
splurge on it.
splurge.
Yeah, we'll just-
Word of the day, kids, splurge.
Oh my. Oh.
But
Who made this poem? That's the
This is
question.
not part of the poem. This
Oh.
is Hollywood. This
Yeah.
is all Hollywood.
Okay, that
right
makes
now.
sense.
But in the poem, what I heard about it was that woman was intentionally supposed to be the wife of the Green Knight, and he did not have sex in that movie.
Huh.
In the poem.
He was just
In
chilling with the
movie, he
wife.
did.
It's
But
Hollywood.
In the poem, he was just like, yeah, I can't do that.
So
I'm
they
sorry."
made it
And
a
so he leaves,
parody. Oh.
And the Green Knight doesn't cut his head off because he
No,
wants
no,
to
you're
break
missing
the
a
web.
big part of this movie.
So
I'm
they
not going to continue yet, but I'm talking about the poem right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
so they Brazzers.com'd it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My
So
goodness.
in the poem, apparently, from what I heard, the wife of the Green Knight tries to seduce him, and he says, "No, I don't want none of that." And
Nah,
he
I'm
goes
good.
to the Green Knight, and he's like, "I'm ready." And he's like, "You know what? I'm not going to chop your head off.
Wow.
You did the right thing." And so he leaves him. In the movie, this is how it goes.
Oh, they twisted up.
And the director had a little bit different mind.
Oh my.
He is starstruck that he just sent his fluids on that woman with the belt, and he puts the belt on immediately afterwards. I don't know why.
Well, he didn't wash it or anything. He just.
Oh, that's
That's
disgusting.
disgusting.
Well, it is the middle century, so I mean that
And
kind of
so,
makes sense.
The dude,
He begins to start running through the forest as he leaves the castle.
and the dude goes, "Oh, Sir Gawain, where you going?" And the guy's
Oh,
like,
God.
and Sir Gawain's like, "I'm off to face the head of the giant.
Oh.
I'm on my way." And
Hello, John.
"Oh, John, I'm on
The
my
dude-
way."
Garland's just like, I have to go. I have to go to my appointment. And he's like,
My people need
you still owe me something. And he's like, huh?
the belt.
No, it wasn't.
No,
the bill.
I thought it was the bell too. And I was like, "Oh
And
dear
then
God."
they started making out.
Huh? Wait.
Y- yes.
The dude
yes,
started
yes.
making out with him.
I looked at Brian and I was like, "We're going."
Caleb, you should have yelled at me and said, get up, get up. We gotta go.
So
We're
you
going.
telling? Huh? Wait.
And so, yeah.
That was terrible.
it was
Why?
terrible.
That was terrible.
So,
There are questions that need to be answered. Why?
no. It goes even more off the rails after this.
Oh my lord.
So,
Not to that extent, but
yeah.
Oh.
So it's pretty bad.
Well,
So,
that's good.
he
Well, good
eventually
bad way.
Gets to the Green Chapel.
Oh, good.
And he meets the Green Knight. He's sitting there for like 3 days, and he's like,
Just chilling.
he's half asleep, and he's like, the Green Knight wakes up, and he's like,
Oh dear me!
and then he's like,
It's Christmas.
Jangle, jangle.
"Is it
Merry Christmas.
And he goes, aye. He's like, you remember the blow you gave me? Aye.
I.
Oh,
And so he gets down on his knees, about to take this hit to the head, like, he's about to get his head chopped
I'd
off.
love the chop to the
And then
head.
he's like, it takes 3 attempts for the Green Knight because he's flinching every time. He's like, you flinched.
Do I?
He's like,
Do you recall where I flinched?
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Carry on.
He's like, you flinched. He's like, I don't know if I can handle this.
It's literally
He flinches
punchies.
again. He says, you must stop flinching. And he's like, is this really all? And he's like, what else would there be? And he runs off.
It's all my
Runs
Lord.
off, takes off.
Finds his horse that he lost like days earlier.
I was happy.
He lost his. He got his Honda Civic
I
back.
thought, he's coming back home. He's going to be okay. He's
Oh,
gonna be
don't
fine.
you say that now.
No, nothing was
No, nothing was.
okay. He
okay.
went home, started making sweet love to his wife
Oh God.
with the belt on.
Oh God.
Yeah. Through everything in his life after that, the belt stayed on.
Huh.
And he married the woman that he put
No,
the
no,
head
no,
on
no.
to.
He killed his.
He
Killed
killed
his wife?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he
He
killed his
O.J.
wife.
Or he left
Simpson,
her
his
to
wife?
die.
He left her to die because in
Oh.
childbirth in the Middle East,
Yeah, you ain't dying. You ain't living.
normally they have a priest to like come and bless the child.
Yeah.
I don't think the priest was blessing the child. I think it
Kill the child.
cursed it.
Yeah.
Kill the child.
So Garland's he's vibing, and then the woman that he put the head back onto,
Mhm.
somehow becomes his wife.
Don't worry about it.
So please put my
his wife
pillows
very
on.
soon after, and she tries to take the belt off of him. He's basically the nut belt stays on.
The nut belt.
The
stays
socks stay.
So he's living his life, and then eventually the kingdom's just pissed at him. They-
Well, yeah, I would too.
By the way, he did replace King Arthur. If you're very confused,
Well, that makes sense.
obviously. So
On. If you weren't confused now.
Yeah,
the kingdom is
the
pissed
true
at him.
Green Knight.
They're about to come through into the round table because they're going to kill him. And he's like,
Oh my.
he's just feeling like a void, and he's just like takes the belt off, and then his head falls off.
There you
And then he
go.
just comes back to his senses
And then-
of where he's back
yeah.
at the Green Chapel.
There you go.
And he's like, wait! Takes the belt off. And he's like, I honored that.
We're good.
Now off with your head. And then nothing happens after that. It just says,
And then just
"The Green
goes
Knight."
The
off
end.
of the head. Shoom, boom. The end. I was
Wow.
like,
It didn't even show him swinging the axe. It was just the Green
I
Knight.
bet.
I looked at Brian and Brian looked at me and we were both like shaking our head like,
Like, what is
heck
this?
did I just watch?
And by the way, I did flinch earlier in the movie because there was a loud
Oh
noise.
yeah, I did flinch too. I was like, jeez.
Nathan
That is-
and Gavin were laughing about that.
That movie, I tell you what.
2 out of 10 Caleb stars.
Definitely. I feel like if
2
I
out of
watched
10.
that movie, I would make
Made it
I
to
would
the
make it even
movies.
better. like I make it more
Made it
funnier.
to the cinema, but it was not good.
That's the thing, man. Like there are so many movies that are based off
how
of
much
books.
time did I waste?
You wasted 17 minutes.
Well, we're gonna do it a longer episode today since I wasted so much time.
Well,
Anyways,
Well, it needed to be said.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many like different books and movies. Well, movies
There
that
you
are
go.
based off of books.
Yeah, like,
that
you
are
know,
worse
I-
than the
the
book.
plot / spoiler.
No, I'll tell you what is
Yeah.
the better version than the book is The Outsiders.
Yeah, the
I love the
Outsiders for
movie
sure.
more than I do the book.
Yeah, like there are so many movies
The
that were
Outsiders.
books.
Yeah.
yeah, the
That
Outsiders.
was a book.
You did-
like Pony Boy. And all
Yes,
man,
that
that
was
was a book.
Okay,
Where were you
I
in
was thinking
cinema?
about something else because you remember the Outside Boys,
Yes.
vampire movie.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
As well as the Warriors. I don't know why that vibe got brought.
Same
to me.
idea. It's the same
It
idea.
technically is because you're technically.
And the
in game.
Warriors is based off a book too.
Warriors is based
Yeah.
on.
What's it based off of?
The book. I'm trying to
Is it
remember.
literally just called the Warriors? Or
I don't think it's
something
called
No,
the War.
it's
It's
close.
another. It's another name for the book.
Okay.
Also, Goodfellas. Well, that's part
Goodfellas
of
is
my
just
biography.
mafia. Good mafia movie, by
Yeah,
the way.
God,
and
heck.
well, Godfather is one too, but
Yeah.
that one, but the book's
But I
a lot
heard The
more
Irishman
raunchier.
was the cream of the crop when it comes to documentaries about
Yeah,
real events.
well, the Godfather also, the book was a lot more raunchier. And
Yeah.
it was like way more.
You can't get away with a lot when writing books.
Well, yes, I mean,
But
anything
Shakespeare got
goes.
away with basically brazzering his
Yeah.
films.
Well, that's because
spelunking,
they didn't
if you
have
will.
any like technology back then, and that's
Yeah.
how people got their entertainment.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, either that or you go to the theater and watch dudes play as women.
Anyways,
What? I mean, it's true.
that is true. That is true. That did happen.
I mean, that was what it was back then.
So,
Committing
coming out of
sin.
that topic,
Yes.
Any other things you want to discuss?
Well, since it is
In the
getting
cinema
very
industry?
close. Well, stamina. Okay. Well, let's see here.
Just quickly, I wasted our time.
yeah, that's one more movie, and then we're done with movie topics for right now.
Okay. Well, pretty much what I'm thinking of, we're getting very close to a specific sport that we all been missing for a long time. And that is
Baby,
football.
football, soccer. I'm just
Football.
kidding.
Soccer, yeah.
Time for football.
Football, yes sir.
So let's give our thoughts about the NFL or the
Okay.
college football,
All
and
right.
what do we
NCAA is
predict?
gonna be kind of trash.
NFL,
Yeah, what do we
Nowadays?
predict?
soft,
Yeah, respectfully.
soft.
Did you see the new rule?
What's the new? I don't. You know what? I might puke.
You got
Well,
to
so
tuck in
pretty
the
much-
quarterback.
Pretty much, they're enforcing. Basically, if there's like any like showboating, anything like that, they have to enforce more penalties on that.
So nobody can shoot anymore.
Nobody. Well, I mean, depending on what you mean. By
Well, what's
shooting.
that one thing that Justin Jefferson did? What's that called?
Oh gosh.
The-
The Corvette.
Maybe.
That's Juju.
Well, same
That's
idea.
juju,
I
yeah.
mean,
Homie did the Corvette.
well, you can
I'm
still,
aware.
You can still do touchdown
You saw when the
celebrations.
Bengals trashed.
Oh,
Shut
my
up.
gosh. Shout out
wanna
to
talk-
shout out to the Steelers
I'm just
being
saying, Juju
bad.
wasn't
All right.
He wasn't right for the Steelers.
He wasn't right. That's why the Steelers lost against the Browns. I'm just saying, that's things fall like
Baker
that.
Mayfield.
Things fall into place of good things. All right. I'm just saying, you go 12-0, and then next thing you know, you're getting bounced in the first round. I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Ouch.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm a
I
Packers fan.
I agree.
I understand the situation. I understand the
It
pain.
sucks.
Any teams that we might predict might have a good chance?
Well, here's the thing, pal. Basically, the Bucks have pretty much re-signed everybody. So
Or for 1 year.
for 1 year.
For 1 year.
Is Gronk there?
Yes.
Yes.
Gronk doing-
Antonio Brown's gonna be back.
Well,
Everybody and their mama's gonna be back on that team.
did you hear about the Lakers?
Well, yes, the
They're
Lakers.
officially keeping back the fun.
Yes, which is good.
Surprising.
Shout out to the local boy,
Shout out to the local Gate City boy.
the Gate City boy, which is
Surprise.
really nuts when you
I'm not
really
saying
think
he's
about
a
that
bad
team.
basketball player,
If
but
Alex Caruso can be on the Lakers, Mac McClung can be on the Lakers.
Yes,
I
respectfully.
have a feeling that Mac McClung will be an improvement.
I hope so.
Well, yeah.
God, I hope so.
Well, it depends on how well he does in the NBA, but
Good luck, pal. I know you're listening.
I know you're listening somewhere. But like for real,
Give us
like
some publicity if you are listening.
but for real though, like the NFL in general, like it's kind of getting predictive, but it's still kind of a toss up every year. That's what I love about the NFL, because you never know who really wins.
I want to say like a team that hasn't been
Good in a while.
good in a while
Yeah.
to do it, but
Yeah,
I feel like at the end of the day, Tampa Bay is just going to finally find its way back in.
yeah. I mean, you
Kansas
got
City is going
you
to
got
find
Thomas
its way
Brady.
back in.
You think Baltimore's got anything? Now?
Lord no,
I
God no.
mean, well,
Nothing?
They're going to win our division. That's for sure.
well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, the Browns, they could do some things. I mean, you never know.
Well, who'd they pick up in the first round?
Some things.
Something I'm not sure, honestly.
Oh yeah, never mind. The Horseman was the first ever pick of the draft. I
The
forgot about
Horseman.
The Horseman.
Shout out to the Horseman, if you will.
that. T. Lawrence, my boy.
Trevor Lawrence, the man that
Trying to
has
keep
hair
from
like
getting
women.
sunburnt right now.
Which is weird that the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are coached by Urban Meyer in Florida,
Florida.
has Tim Tebow on that team.
And by the way, they're getting free AEW tickets.
Yes, I saw that. That was pretty good. I love that's the thing. When you live in Jacksonville, you're pretty close to a wrestling
I'll stay
fan.
right here.
Okay.
Here's a pillow, pal, if you need. It's very hot out here, ladies and gentlemen.
Very
It's
hot.
and we're about to be burnt to a crisp.
Well, it's either this or two dogs barking in our ears.
Yeah, pretty much we're getting either sunburnt or dogs.
And
Which one do you want?
I guess we should issue the warning now that probably we're not going to have any episodes after next week.
Yeah, I mean, scarcely. I mean, we'll.
The episodes will be
There might
Yeah.
be like
I feel
once
like we
every
could try
3.
and do a couple
Yeah,
in there, but
definitely when it hits October, like we definitely got to do a Halloween one. We definitely got to do one.
yeah, when it hits December, we got to do Christmas special.
Jingle jangle, brother.
Jingle
jangle.
The young old timers jingle jangle.
The young old
That's what we're
timers
gonna
sing
call it.
Christmas
Just remember
songs.
to put that in the comments of Instagram and everywhere else.
We'll have a special announcement on episode 10 when we get it, but until then, you're gonna have to sit there and wait. All right.
Sit down. Sit down.
So, what's our thoughts about college football? Since that's going to be pretty.
Tennessee's going to be garbage.
Well, I don't know. I think we'll be.
It's one of
okay.
these. Normally, I would agree with you, but this year, I don't know what's
We don't
going
know.
on.
We don't know.
I'm tired of there's always next year quote. I'm tired of it.
Well, we've been tired of it for the past 15 years. So
Well, here's the thing. We know that the SEC has grown massively.
yeah, two massives, if you will.
Two massives.
Let's
One
just say the
Longhorn
SEC
and one
West is-
Sooner.
Yeah, the SEC West has gained the two greatest
Oklahoma's about it.
programs outside of the SEC.
The two greatest programs that come out of the Big 12, which the Big
God, I
12
hope
is probably
Oklahoma
dead, by the
runs
way.
over Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God,
I would
hope
love to
so.
see that.
I would
We're
love it.
back.
But then again, this is not 1985, and they don't have.
When the Horns were actually good at baseball too.
You know, when Tim.
Vandy!
Shout out to Vandy. Shout out to the SEC. They're just
Shout out
straight
to
at it.
Tennessee, they did good.
Tennessee's been. Yeah, Tennessee did really well this year.
In the playoffs.
Hey, what can you say? What can
I
you
don't know
say?
what it is, but if Tennessee has any sports programs this year, or within the past 5 years, it's Choke City.
Yeah, you're kind of right. The basketball team last year didn't do too
Thunder.
high. Yeah, well, it ain't gonna kill us
But
yet.
still burning up out here.
Yeah, thunder, but no clouds. Well, there's clouds up
It's dry thunder.
there. That's right.
That's gonna be a weird thing to think about, like thinking about Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC. Like that's like a dynasty mode, like
I
moving
felt
teams.
like it was going to happen at some point.
Like-
Not this soon.
Yeah, this is a college
Well,
football
the thing
revamp
was
I
type
think we
of
should
move.
have known when Texas A&M.
Yeah, when Texas A&M came, I
Yeah.
thought I would have thought Texas would come.
Because Texas A&M, Arkansas, and Missouri were originally from the Big 12.
Well, here's the thing. Missouri,
So it's like-
I don't know
Well,
about Missouri.
yeah, Mizzo. I mean, you can't
Do
really
you
help.
really think they should be in the SEC?
No.
Are they even a part of the Southeast? And
I mean,
I think geographically, if you're part of the Southeast, you should be in the Southeastern Conference.
technically, but can Texas be considered in the
second.
Southeast?
Hold on for a second. I'm about to.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh, hush.
I think they are, though.
Texas?
Yeah, crazily enough, I think they are considered the South.
Yeah, it's considered the South, but usually it's considered the Southwest when it comes to like.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're considered
weird.
that in everything.
Yeah.
Racing, sports,
Yeah.
especially in drag racing. They're like Division 5 with like Colorado and.
Oh yeah. Because I think how
So
they
if you
split
think
it up-
about it,
Shout out to the NHRA. by the
okay,
shout out to racing.
Southeast,
Yes, it's Southeast.
Southeast. I don't think.
West.
I honestly,
What's it? Is how many teams are actually in the Southeast?
Like, well, you got.
I know it's a dominant amount, but how many of them are?
It's basically like 10 to 12, in at the max because you
how
got.
many teams do we have in the actual SEC?
Well, you got. Let's see. You got.
so you got Alabama,
Alabama,
Auburn,
Auburn,
LSU,
LSU,
Texas A&M,
Texas A&M,
Missouri, Florida,
Okay,
Georgia,
Georgia,
South Carolina,
Florida,
Tennessee,
Tennessee.
Ole Miss,
So about 11 to 12.
Mississippi, Kentucky, Vanderbilt.
Mississippi State.
I'm sorry, Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mississippi. Well, Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
I'm sorry,
Ole
yeah.
Miss is Mississippi.
Kentucky, Vanderbilt,
Yeah,
and
it's Mississippi
Arkansas,
State, right?
and Oklahoma
Alabama.
and Texas.
So basically 12 to 14.
Who I don't think should be a part of the SEC?
Well, it's
Missouri,
Missouri. I get it.
Kentucky,
Kentucky, I get it.
and Arkansas.
But I think. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they take out, if they take out Missouri and bring back Georgia Tech, that would be a big move.
Yeah, because I saw
Because
like
think about it.
Georgia
since
Tech hasn't
1990.
been good in decades.
BS. Those eras when Georgia and Georgia Tech were in the SEC was one of the best eras of all time.
Well, they need to get a new playbook.
Well, what
the
can you say?
option is dead. Everybody knows.
Well, we haven't. Well, the option hasn't been the greatest of playbooks since the '80s. I would say, but-
yeah.
Let me say, the University of Georgia Fairburn needs to make it.
The UGF Pandas. need to
UGF
get it there.
Pandas. The Pandas.
If there was a way to bring, like, if there was, like, a way to
But
bring,
yeah.
To import fake teams into reality,
that would be cool.
that would be it.
If you can do that in the new NCAA football game, I would be happy.
By the way, let's speak NCAA video games right now.
Yep.
Since they're coming back, I hope there's a lot of selection, which I doubt will be.
I doubt.
And I will hope there's a lot of customization, which again, EA, you're dropping the ball.
They've been dropping the ball for a decade, pal.
They've been dropping the ball for a while.
Ever since Madden 05, they've been dropping the ball.
Madden 05 was the killer of all good sports games.
And the early NCAA football games were pretty good too.
Exactly. That's the thing, pal. Like, literally. Once.
I think people really enjoyed the Dynasty mode where you could actually get real college
Exactly.
athletes in there.
It's wild.
Cards.
It's wild, man.
I don't know what it is with cards. People have an obsession with cards.
Well, yeah, because, the cards has always been a thing and always been the card collecting. And then Ultimate Team became a thing. And now people are like, yeah, let's pay this money for
I'm
this
just
imaginary
saying,
card
if there's
that we
a
only
way
use for a year.
For MLB. Woo! Voice
God.
crack number one
There
today.
it is.
But
Good job.
creators of the show, I think, could get away with making an NCAA baseball game.
In all respect,
Very
they
well.
could, but then again, like 2K could do that as well.
Yeah,
Or any
2K
other.
would need to stay in its lane with basketball, my boy.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like a college hoops type.
Yeah, college hoops can come back. I could really
Yeah.
enjoy some college hoops.
That's the thing, man.
Speaking
Like,
of which-
but
So, hey,
the
hold
biggest.
on for a
go ahead.
second. I'm gonna have to take a pause because something's up with my laptop.
Oh,
It's probably where it's blistering.
They were kids. It's backyard sports.
Beating the Eastern Conference champion New York Giants 23-17.
Hi, I'm Pedro Martinez, here to talk about some special people.
a court case is like, can you read that back for me? It's like the person that it's like the scribe or whatever.
Sure.
It's like, sure, let me just read this entire 6 hours footage of what we just had today. Thank you once again. But yes, we're having severe technical difficulties.
So we're gonna have the editor look at this, and
Mr. Editor, I hope that you're feeling well, because you're not going to feel well when you hear this, but you're going to be okay.
you're gonna be all right, buddy.
You're that guy now.
But have a good day.
Have a good day. Thank y'all once again for listening to us. It was short, but
Absolutely.
it is what it is.
It's hot.
It's hot, and we're glad that you're here. Subscribe,
All right.
Keep an eye out
Likes.
for the TikToks.
and we'll see you on the next round.
Gentlemen.